Good morning, children. In today's class, we'll be starting with our new chapter, that is lesson number 4, bird migration. Please open your textbook, page number 42, and follow me with the lesson. Okay, birds are a man's and the environment's best friends. They could be kept as pets. They can perform marvelous feats. Like human beings who go in search of job opportunities to earn their living, birds travel from place to place for different reasons. Their movement is seasonal. There are surprising facts about that movement. So, see, children, birds are man's and environment's best friends. They can be kept as pets. They are also freely growing and flying in the wild also. Okay, so they can do very marvelous, fantastic jobs. Okay, so see, we human beings also do. There is some, the word migration means to move from one place to another. It can be in search of jobs, it can be in search of education, right? Human beings also do that. See, many people in our college also, right? They come from different places to study. If you get a job in another city, you'll move there, right? That is what they mean here. Migration means that not only human beings but birds also do migration, but for what we don't know. See, many birds move for migrate for different reasons. What are the reasons? What are the facts we know till now will be studied in this lesson. Okay, the migration of birds is as old as the history of mankind. Yet it's a surprise. Why do birds keep migrating from place to place? There is no satisfactory answer. However, there are many facts related to the amazing phenomenon called bird migration. Okay, so we know very little about this bird migration, children. Till now, scientists and bird watchers are trying to understand this. So each bird migrate for different reasons. There are many different facts given in this lesson. Let's read that and understand the bird migration better. The word migration refers to the movement of birds from one place to another, from lowlands to highlands and from interior to the sea coast, right? So birds in different seasons move from different place to different place. Okay, birds migrate for various reasons. For instance, it is observed that during winter birds go to warmer places because some of them cannot survive. Okay, see, children, during winter it's very cold. No, here in Bangalore and all we don't see that much amount of cold. But if you are staying in a very hilly areas, for example, see, if you stay near the Himalayas, the mountains where there is heavy snow during winter, the birds can't survive there, right? See, if human beings means they will stay inside the houses, we get bed sheet, warm food, we make fire to keep warm, but birds can't do all that. So what they do is when the winter is coming means they will go to another warm place. So that is because they can't survive in the cold. The birds that feed on insects will not be able to find their food in winter, right? See, if it's winter means generally birds survive on insects, right? Many birds. But during winter, insects are very less to find, and it will be very cold, so they can't feed. So what they do, they go to warmer place. Weather conditions alone would not make birds migrate, right? Some birds can survive in winter, so why are they migrating? Birds migrate depending on the seasons. How so? Weather conditions. See, children, we'll feel that today's weather, oh, it's little cold, but yesterday it was very sunny. That is different. It's weather. But seasons means like climate means what happens during winter, it's very cold. During summer, it's very hot, right? That seasons. How do the birds find out that? Because birds don't are not intelligent beings like humans, but how do they identify the seasonal changes? How do they get to know that, oh, winter is coming, so we have to migrate? It is said that birds can find the seasonal changes by knowing the length of the day. Okay, it is also believed that birds can understand it when days get shorter and when they get longer. This ability in birds function like an alarm clock. So how they find out that the season is changing means, children, we know this, right? During summers the days are longer, right? And during winter the nights are longer. So that is how they find it out. When the sun rises very early means it's summer. If the sun rises very later means it's winter. And the sun is not there in the sky for a long time means it means winter. Okay, So this is how they come to understand the seasonal changes. This is how they identify and decide to migrate. Birds breed in summer, and this is also connected with migration. During this season, birds migrate northward. The change in the length of the days and the lack of food tell the bird to migrate to suitable places. See, suddenly when winter is approaching means the birds will feel that the days are shorter and they are not getting food. So they'll understand that but they should migrate to suitable place. The breeding instinct helps them migrate up north. In late summer, many birds fly down south. Sometimes they travel to different continents and return to their nests in their own country in spring. Okay, they just don't travel from one village to other village, one city to another city. Children, they can travel from one country to another country, one continent to another continent. They can fly a long distance. It depends on different birds and their capacities. Okay, their ability to find their home is an amazing as their readiness to migrate. So when they uh, go migrate to some other place during winter, again when this place has summer and that place has winter, no, so it will come back to exactly to its place, to its home where it was staying before. Okay, it has that much good direction sense. How do birds find their way home? There is a belief that birds can understand the magnetic fields that surround the earth. These magnetic fields run from north to south poles. Perhaps the birds are directed themselves by these lines of force. However, this theory has not been proved. So, some scientists were wondering how can they find the direction? The birds, how are they like understanding the direction to travel from such a huge place? Okay, even if they have to migrate from country to country, means they have to cross over the oceans also. How are they finding the direction? So one of the theory means just a speculation, just a maybe it can be for this reason like that, but it has not been proved. So they think that, see, if earth is there means we know that there are magnetic lines here. You have learned this in EVS, right? Magnetic lines from north to south pole, right? So scientists believe that these magnetic lines can be felt by, the birds feel these and find out the direction. Okay, so but this is not yet been proved. This is just a speculation till now. Birds migrate for many reasons and may have their instinct to find their way home. They are the champions among all migrating birds. Animals, sorry. The Arctic terns are the champions among the birds. These travel an average of 22,000 miles a year. So there's a bird called Arctic terns. Okay, they travel around 22,000 miles a year. That is a very great distance. During its flight, the tern nests at different places and takes about 20 weeks to make its trip down to the Antarctic region. Its average speed is 1,000 miles a week. Oh, so children, these Arctic terns, no, from Arctic region to Antarctic region, it will just keep on flying, keep on flying. It will take 20 weeks to make its trip, and in 1 week it takes around 1000 miles. It travels around 1000 miles. Okay, and these during travel, it has to take rest also, no, so it does take rest and nests at different places, and then only it can reach the Antarctic region. Most land birds make short hops during their migration. Okay, many land birds, no, they can't just keep on flying like this Arctic tern. All birds are not same, all birds are not as strong as Arctic terns, right? So many land birds make short hops, like one place to little distance they will travel today, take a rest, then again next just start migrating. The American golden plover is an exception. It makes a long non-stop flight and can fly a distance of about 2,400 miles over water without food or stopping. Okay, see, most land birds we were speaking that it will take rest and then start flying again. But the American golden plover, no, it is not like other birds. It makes non-stop. Non-stop means it is not stopping anywhere. It travels over 2,400 miles over water, means over ocean and all. There is no place to stop there, right? You just don't have trees or anything. It's just plain ocean. A bird can't stop there, but still it will keep on flying without water, without food. and it does travel a long distance. Okay, birds do not actually begin their migration the same day every year. Okay, so we think that, oh, this year summer is ending today, so next year also the same day only summer will end and birds will travel that way. No, for example, the famous swallows of California are supposed to leave on October 23rd and return on March 19th, but their dates of departure and return have been found to be varying from year to year. Birds migrate for satisfying their needs as human beings too. See, sometimes no birds feel that, see, the seasonal changes can't be like predicted to the exact date, right? So we can't say exactly this day the winter is starting, so it keeps changing year to year. That's how birds also change, because they don't know that this is the exact date, right? They don't follow date, they follow their instincts. Okay, that is how they start migrating. Okay, impact of cell towers on birds. Ever wondered about vanishing house sparrows, declining number of peacocks and other birds in cities? So, see children, the cell towers means our network towers are there, no phone towers, mobile towers we speak, no, the long towers in our villages and cities. They Let me read it out even further, how they are harming our birds. See, sparrows means gubbachi, right? Before we used to see a lot of them. Now we can barely see them because of the radiations in the air. They are declining. They are dying, children. A study, a possible impact of communication tower on wildlife, birds and bees, conducted by the expert committee of Union Ministry of Environment and Forest, attributes to the drop in number of birds in Indore, Bhopal, Jabalpur, Ujjain and other cities to increased use of mobile phones and EMRs. EMR means electromagnetic radiation emitted from communication towers. Concerned over the increasing number of mobile towers in the city, a city-based animal activist Ketawat has Sudhir Ketawat has written a letter to the Animal Welfare Board urging them to take necessary action in the matter. It is dangerous for birds, and even the Forest Department in its latest dated May 15, 2015 and May 12, 2015 has accepted that mobile tower radiation is affecting the health of birds and peacocks in particular, said Ketawat. Girish Kumar from Electrical Engineering Department of IIT Mumbai, who has done extensive work on harmful effects of mobile tower radiation on humans, birds, and animals, has said that birds, including sparrows, honeybees, and peacocks, are severely affected by cell tower radiation as their surface area is more. So, radiation observed is more compared to their body weight. He added that the effects of on the peacocks is much more pronounced as their wings feathers occupy more surface area, resulting in large absorption of radiation, hence creating more health hazards and leading to various ailments and even death. Source the Times of India. So what they're saying here is, children, the mobile towers, no, what we are using, it is using EMRs, electromagnetic radiation, means we can't see that, it's invisible to eye. The radiation is how we are able to speak from one person to another in different mobiles or from different parts of city. So what happens here is the radiation passes through the nearest mobile tower. From there to the next mobile tower is it moves. So in that time, so it is not that harmful for human beings, but sparrows and these birds are very small and very delicate, no children. They have very lightweight bones also. So what happens is, it affects their health. Okay, what happens, it's just starting becoming weak, they get different diseases and finally they die. So it's very harmful for them. How much harmful and all, it's given here, but what they're saying basically is that it's whatever we are doing, our technology is basically harming every insects and birds and basically all things in environment, right? We are human beings are only destroying our whole earth. That is what it means. So this is the end of today's class, today's lesson. I'll just send you the notes, children. Please write it down in your classwork and read the lesson well. Okay, thank you.